Apply for up to 1.5 million rand in business funding from Vodalend today. FutureFit, helping you grow your business with Vodalend. According to the World Bank, 1.6 billion adults globally remain unbanked with little or no access to financial services. This means no savings, no mobile transactions, no digital banking, needless to say, the luxury of online shopping. No surprise then, there is a direct correlation between poverty and a lack of access to financial products. Now, starting and running a business is challenging on any given day. But imagine trying to get access to funding without the information and services at your fingertips. So how can technology help accelerate financial inclusion while eliminating lending bias? And how can that in turn be a game changer for business owners on the African continent? Let's find out. Let's start with the important stuff, right? How does financial exclusion and lending bias actually manifest, especially in Africa?
Any institution is as good as the incentives that they face. So if you are a bank or a financial institution, you're only as good as the incentives that you face. Meaning that if it costs too much time, money, and effort, then you will not service a certain group of people. Right, so that's quite fundamental. What we've noticed is that many financial institutions take a view on people based on correlation or causation. So, for example, you're an insurance company, you look at age. Age does not cause you to cause accidents, right? It just correlates. It just so happens that you're 25-year-old, you might be able to speed too quickly, it causes accidents and things like that. So what is so fundamental is that financial institutions bias their decision-making based on the inputs that they take in. And it's so very narrow because you look at demographics, you look at age, you look at location, but it doesn't tell you about, for example, the credit worthiness of the person. And I think we need to change the narrative in terms of how we make decisions based on lending in particular. For example, a lot of personal decisions are made on credit score, but what does credit score rely on? Credit, right? Yeah. So you almost need credit to get credit. And if you've got a thin file, like most people, then you don't have access to credit.
All right, so let's talk about that though, because you're mentioning these different ways that companies could look at things when it comes to lending money. But is that really going to happen, or are they stuck in their way in terms of how they view someone, how they make money, their age, gender, etc.?
Yeah, traditionally they're stuck in their way because they've got no incentive to change. If something has been working for them, it can't change. So you need new ways and innovative ways to think differently about that.
We know that technology is one of the tools that are currently being used to actually help people get money through very basic ways, which is making it easier. So how can technology actually help bridge or eliminate these hurdles? Why is it so important, you'd say?
The purpose of technology is to provide simplicity. Right? If it takes too much time, money, physical effort, or mental effort to do certain things, you will not do it. So technology bridges that gap. Simplicity is so important because we all have motivation to do something, right? But what simplicity does, it says that even if my motivation is low, I'll still do that behavior because it's so simple to do.
All right, so let's talk about the main barriers for entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, because that's pretty important, especially when they don't have access to, firstly, information about the kinds of lending solutions that are available to them, and secondly, no access to those services or solutions itself.
There are lots of different financing instruments. I think people need to expose themselves to that. There's equity, there's debt, there's quasi-equity, a mixture of all of these things. But it's getting exposure to that. And not only just looking at traditional financing institutions, but people are only as good as what they're exposed to. So it's also fundamental and incumbent on us, myself as a business person, yourself as a presenter, to make mention of the different avenues that are available for people to get financing.
All right, thank you so much.
Perfect, thank you.
Grow your business your way with up to 1.5 million rand in funding from Vodalend. FutureFit in association with Vodalend.